Hey everyone, I hope this finds you well, your family, loved ones, those you care about, healthy, safe, and enjoying, some of the things that are returning, such as basketball. And usually I study college, but obviously we're a couple months away from a college basketball season, and that's murky at best right now. But the NBA is back; it's in the bubble in Orlando, and with the season, less than 20, the regular season officially, less than 24 hours away, I wanted to study. I spent most of my time studying college basketball, so I wanted to study some NBA teams, and it was night and day, and I love it. It's so fun and funny at the same time, seeing the differences between the pro game and the college game. It's just totally two different games when you spend the amount of time really analyzing the two. And I wanted to focus on a couple possessions here by the Utah Jazz against the scrimmage against the Brooklyn Nets. A couple things. One, I just really want to highlight just the spacing differences and the core concepts that you see in the NBA that you don't see in college, and also highlight the talent gap as well. But also just really, it's remarkable how good these guys are, and really even though as much as I study college, you really learn so much as well from studying all levels in leagues. So it's also been beneficial to me during this period of studying the NBA and WNBA as well. So you guys know the drill if you're familiar with my videos. We're going to watch the possession and break it down. Now the main theme of this first video that I want to talk about is, in my opinion, the Brooklyn Nets do everything correct but one thing, and that's on the closeout when it passes to the wing. But the spacing in the NBA is so great that there's so much space for the offense to manipulate and take advantage of. Conversely, there's that much space for the defense to defend, right? But with the way of like the principles such as drop coverage and not leaving the strong side corner due to the analytics showing how it's the most efficient shot, really you can be in the right position majority of the time, but the offense will have the upper hand if they just execute the spacing properly. And props to Quinn Snyder and the talented Utah Jazz team. Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert. These guys are just so good that as the Nets do things textbook defensively, just not enough. So here we have the ball swung to Mitchell at the top. It's a really high screen and roll. Two things here. One, I've been advocating in some earlier videos and Twitter threads. By the way, if you don't follow me on Twitter, it is legendary E with the letter E, not Y. I advocate, and one thing that Memphis under Penny Hardaway has done that I've been a big fan of is setting ball screens up higher. So here I'm going to bring my mouse to the screen. You see Rudy Gobert, by the way, second thing here is he always screens at the defender's back hip. He just consistently sets great screens. The effort's always there, which I love watching him. But a lot in college where my mouse is, you'll see a lot of ball screens set right above the 3-point line. And with the space already less than the pros, I don't know why you wouldn't. It would make more sense, and give your offense even that split second or that extra amount of inches more advantage to set it higher. And it's one thing that's amazing conceptually to see in the NBA is, despite the great space they already have, they try to make it even greater. Evident by here, and some NBA teams practice with a 4-point line just to really get that spacing down. So here you have a great screen. You have the corner defenders, in their respective spaces. Jarrett Allen for the Nets, where my mouse was, he's at the nail right now. Gobert's not a pop threat. He's not going to shoot. He's at the nail. And here you have the weak wing defender who has to be the tag man, right? Because you have Ingles here in the corner, and this is knowing your personnel, and a great job by Quinn Snyder and the Jazz, where if the corner, Donovan Mitchell's going to the left, right? So this is now the strong side corner. So this corner is not going to, the corner defender is not going to leave. And also, you're not going to leave when Joe Ingles is in the corner. It's an elite shooter in the most efficient spot on the court. So great job of getting your players in position to make impactful plays. A lot of alliteration right there. So the defender here, top of the circle, he's in the right space. O'Neal here, 23 on the Jazz, he's too far out to shoot. He's not in range. So everything right now is textbook, okay? So you have Mitchell driving. He snakes a little bit, and this is really one of the key things is where he goes left, and he'll do one dribble back to the right, where he's kind of even with the right lane line, where the defender, O'Neal's defender, 23's defender on Utah, has to take an extra step over to him while Donovan Mitchell's defender is fighting over. But even if he was one step closer to 23, that's still too much space in of itself. You see Allen here can't fully commit because you have Gobert rolling. Obviously, the strong side corner at this time, not going to leave. So now the ball is going to be swung. Now here's the one thing that could be improved, so I'm going to rewind. Apologies for that space. That closeout is a little high, a little uneven, and we have the attack, swing out to the corner. Mike Conley's a great shooter, three-pointer. Now I got into a discussion on Twitter about this. So the closeout here is not great. The discussion was right here. So Jared Allen obviously is a 7-footer. He's a rim defender. He's not going to let an uncontested shot at the rim occur. So the person who I talked to on Twitter, he said that Karis LeVert right here should have split the difference on the weak side, and number 4 on Brooklyn should have fully committed to Gobert. I didn't quite agree with that because Allen has to commit. He's not going to allow an uncontested 2. No coach is really going to allow that. But also number 4 is already way behind Gobert, and Gobert is much taller than him, so I don't see how he can fully commit. Furthermore, Mitchell's rising up while Conley is sinking to the corner. Therefore, you don't have enough time where the ball's right now to truly split the difference without fully committing yourself, which O'Neal has enough space and time to see. So it still would have been a 3-on-2 advantage. So once again, it's pick your poison. This is one thing that you really don't see a lot in college, where the spacing is so great that you can do things textbook, right? But it still is not enough. So O'Neal does a good job getting in the air, getting vertical, finding Conley in the quarter. It's a contest, but it's too late. Now once again, I'm going to run that through where, once again, great job of Jazz of knowing their personnel. You have Ingles inbounding, then going right to the corner. And he's a deadly shooter. So in the corner is the most efficient spot. You have Mitchell snakes right there, gets the defender over. Actually, just a half step, swings the ball. They have to play discipline because Gobert is a lob threat. At this point, it's 3-on-2 basketball. Pick your poison. O'Neal, great job getting in the air, getting Allen to commit. Great kick out for 3. Just so night and day different from college. Just a beautiful possession. The Nets pretty much did everything textbook minus the choppy closeout. But even if the closeout was a little stronger, look, there's still a stunt in the corner. The net defender still wants the Jazz O'Neal to drive left. Ingles once again is in the corner. This defender is not going to leave Ingles. So a left-handed drive still would have occurred. Now, would have been this successful? Maybe not, hypothetically. But hypothetically, it still didn't happen. So can't really engage in that right now. But ball swung once again. Late scramble, great shot. You just don't really see that in college, where the ball screen set that much higher. You can beat textbook in the right spot, but you have so many different threats, and these guys are just so skilled. And obviously, the higher you go professionally, the greater skill you are. Speaking of skill and skill development, the next possession I'm only going to touch upon briefly, but Donovan Mitchell, lottery pick, the Utah Jazz, even the GM had to swear their selves to secrecy about not talking about how great the workout was. He's got so much better in the pick and roll, and this is one thing that's different than college, is the skill level. It's so night and day. So I want to show you this right here. So Rudy Gobert, it looks like right now it's a ball screen, to the large side of the floor to Donovan Mitchell's right. It's like to the triple side. It's really not even set. We're early in transition. The tactical awareness and the insight you see Gobert have of really setting him up, the defender up to, the ball screen's going to go to the right and he's ready to fight over it. Whoop, I'm going to flip my hips. Just kidding. Going to the weak side, inverted pick and roll to the corner. You don't see really centers in college, big men in college basketball do that. They don't have the experience. They don't have the in-game knowledge primarily to make the decisions like that, and it totally just blows up the defensive possession, especially when you have a guy like Donovan Mitchell just getting so much better. That pocket pass is just beautiful. Now, yes, Jared Allen, defends the shot, and it's a miss too. But Donovan Mitchell, the fact that he's already so explosive, from 3 and attacking and really good off the ball as well. But now you're just adding this was repertoire. Look at that pocket pass. Just setting the defense up, totally getting them to commit. Allen has a great wingspan defensive awareness, so that's great defense by him. But once again, another difference. Just the skill level. Just unbelievably talented players. And you have all these guys that are already good in college just get even better. And it was really awesome to see Donovan Mitchell do that. Okay, so now the last possession where I wanted to go to, once again, it's really going to talk about spacing. Just you really can't get over the spacing differences between the NBA and college. So here I have Ingles has the ball. There's a little, Iverson screen or brush screen across per se that Gobert sets. Not really serious, but what it does is we get to spread pick and roll formation. Once again, this is one of the differences you see in college and the NBA is drop coverage is now the new in vogue coverage for pick and roll basketball. Why? Because he has the on-ball defender goes over the top, so you try to limit threes that way. You protect the roller. We see Allen here at the elbow. So this kind of coverage Milwaukee does a lot. It's where you can allow threes, but usually and the way Milwaukee does it is you don't get great 3-point shooters taking the threes, but also you protect the rim really efficiently. So 3-point shot, it's a farther away, it's a harder shot to make, so it's making sure that if the team's going to beat you, they got to beat you from the harder shot that it is. So you have drop coverage, it's fighting over. Now, once again, the tag man is going to be this defender here at the elbow, above the elbow near the circle. Why? Well, you're not going to leave the corner. Well, once again, that's the most efficient shot. So here, this is once again another difference in college is these die-hard principles that you see in the NBA that you don't see in college, which is drop coverage, pick and roll. And it's not exclusive, right, in the NBA, but it's growing and growing. And also, you never leave the strong side corner. Some teams have different philosophies on it. More of the NBA-style defenses, like St. Mary's, for example, or Michigan with Juwan Howard, they don't leave the corner and they help as little as possible. But once again, that's few and far between in college overall. So here we have Ingles, just great setup. Once again, Rudy Gobert, look, screen right at the defender's back hip, beautiful screen, and he's consistently doing that all the time. How many players are consistently setting screens the right way all the time? Not many at lower levels. Ball screen, the defender at the elbow, he can't fully commit. Why? Because Mike Conley, an excellent shooter. Know your personnel, man. He's at the wing. That's a great shot as well. So what happens? You're in no man's land. You have Joe Ingles, one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA, wide open. What happens? He makes it. Just really simple, nothing complex. The ball's inbounded. Donovan Mitchell goes all the way to the corner. Cross screen, just like to get in spread, pick and roll. But look at the spacing. And once again, look how high the screen is. It's above that hash mark. We're near the NBA logo. Just beautiful, beautiful basketball. It's understanding that even with all the space they have, how can we take even more advantage of it? How can we take it to the next level to ensure that we have the advantage? We find the advantage, we use the advantage, we create the advantage against the defense. And just Quinn Snyder and the Utah Jazz do an excellent job. How this relates to my college studies and what I see in college basketball, once again, I really wish more teams, when they set ball screens, set them higher up. Exaggerate spacing. If you're going to exaggerate anything, exaggerate spacing. And the NBA, they do such a great job of doing that. When you have the skill development and the talent of these guys, it's just lethal results. You can be in the right place on defense, but sometimes, as you see here, it just isn't enough. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Please let me know your thoughts. Any recommendations, requests, feedback, please let me know. Hope you guys are doing well, and let's enjoy some basketball.